Right now, you're trapped in a prison so perfect you don't even know it exists. A prison with the walls made of beliefs you never chose, yet you would defend with your life. What if I told you that everything you believe in is a lie? How does that make you feel? Not just some things, everything. The religion you defend, the politics you fight for, the purpose you chase, the reality you think you see. What if you're not just wrong about a few things, but trapped in a prison you don't even realize exists? A prison you defend, but also a prison you built yourself. Now imagine your beliefs as bricks in a wall surrounding you, sheltering you from reality. Some of these bricks were handed to you by your parents, others by teachers, friends, society, many of which you don't even remember acquiring. When was the last time you even questioned some of these things? When was the last time you poked at your bricks to see if it's actually holding your wall together or just holding you back? As one very important spiritual teacher of mine taught me many years ago, finding the right question can dissolve an entire brick of belief. And when that happens, everything can change. But not before. But before we go deeper, if you're finding value in this perspective, please hit the like and subscribe button and join our community of truth seekers on Patreon. I want to be able to eventually do this full time, and it helps. So even a $5 contribution, 10, whatever it is that you can afford, is tremendously helpful and appreciated. And if you're not able to do any of that, a like, a subscribe, comment, a share is also tremendously valuable and helpful as well. Now let's get uncomfortable. We all carry golden bricks, beliefs so sacred we'd rather die than question them. The ones that make you stop reading, stop listening, stop thinking. An answer will never dissolve a brick. Only the right question can. And once you stop asking questions, the truth dies. Your religion, is it just a coincidence that absolute cosmic truth that you happen to be born in the exact same culture and country, just that in this infinitely complex universe that is perfectly explained in the book on your shelf? Think about that for a moment. Does that make any sense at all? Science calls this the accident of birth phenomenon. Studies show that 87% of people retain their religious beliefs of their parents. Our brains are wired with confirmation bias. We see evidence that supports our existing beliefs while filtering out contradictory information. Your spirituality, your politics, your values, all just accidents of birth. Had you been born somewhere else, you'd defend the opposite with equal passion. If you were born in some other country, some other culture, some other religion, you would believe that. But the obvious golden bricks are just the beginning. The truly dangerous ones are the ones you don't even know that you have. Human consciousness is separated from nature. Free will exists. There's a purpose to life. I'm an individual self. Death is to be feared. These aren't questions that you've answered. They're questions you've forgotten to ask. Did you escape your childhood religion and replace it with a more sophisticated prison? Your politics, your scientific materialism, your enlightened spirituality? Just prettier bricks. If so, you're not a seeker. You're simply a believer who changed beliefs. With taking one brick out, putting another one in, you might as well have just left the first one in the first place. It makes no difference. Let me share a personal story. I was raised as a Christian, Baptist, the boring kind. The fear of hell and questioning God was deeply ingrained in me as bad things. They were the foundations of my reality. Even when I intellectually stopped believing, I still felt this tether, this invisible gold cord of fear. I literally found myself asking God for permission to explore other spiritual paths. I didn't want him to be mad at me because I just couldn't believe the stories, what I was being told, and the weak answers that I was being given. But I still had this fear. I was certain I'd always have this connection based on this fear, that I would never fully break free. But you know what that is? That is a golden brick. One I didn't even recognize. The day that I realized I could question my fear, that was the day something truly shifted. Today, that fear is completely gone. What once seemed permanent, unquestionable, simply dissolved. I have long since moved on from any of that type of fear. But I've seen this pattern again and again. What seems absolutely permanent and unchangeable is often the most fragile once you find the right question. Might you be feeling uncomfortable yet? If so, good. Truth isn't supposed to just feel wonderful and good. It can hurt, especially when truth inspires change. Now let's go deeper. Let's touch the bricks you really don't want touched. For example, you think you care about your family. Wrong. You care about the idea of your family that makes you feel secure. If your child rejected every value you hold dear, would you truly accept them or would you try to fix them? You think your empathy and compassion make you a good person. No, that's a delusion. They just make you feel superior while doing nothing meaningful to address suffering. You think you value freedom, yet you've surrendered your mind to social media algorithms, your body to addictive substances, your time to meaningless work, and your purpose to consumerism. You believe you're rational and logical. Then why do you still make decisions based on emotions? Then construct elaborate justifications afterwards. And here's a brick that will really hurt. Your entire sense of self, your precious identity that you defend so vigorously, is just a story you've made up. There is no you in the way that you think there is. Your mind created an illusion of continuity and you called it me. You gave it a name. Then you spent your entire life defending this fiction from everything that threatens it. Offensive? Good. Your offense is just another brick. Your discomfort is the feeling of truth touching something false. The world is full of people selling spiritual stink oil. They don't just decorate their walls, they sell decorations for your walls. Follow my 7-day enlightenment process. Read my channeled wisdom from higher beings. Join my spiritual mastermind for just $10,000. Ask yourself, if someone truly understood the infinite nature of reality, would they be selling it on Instagram? Would they trademark enlightenment? Would they need your money? The most dangerous teachers aren't the obvious frauds. They're the ones who believe their own delusions, who've convinced themselves they have special access to truth. Most of them have had one spiritual experience or a taste of it, hopefully at least something, and then immediately think that they have had the moment of realization and they are everything. They believe it. It's just another delusion. Just another brick. Learn to recognize the warning signs. Anyone claiming certainty, anyone who can't say, I don't know, anyone whose answers stop questioning rather than inspire it, anyone promising quick solutions to the mysteries of existence, red flags. The real teachers, the ones who actually help you, don't give you new bricks. They help you question your existing ones. They don't make you dependent upon them. They make you more self-reliant. They don't claim to have answers. They help you find better questions. So now we're going to talk about salt, of all things. If you've never tasted salt before, I could use a million words to describe it. I could say it's salty, it enhances flavor. It's kind of like the ocean, but crystallized. But no combination of words, no matter how eloquent, no matter how poetic, could ever give you what a moment of direct experience of that taste of salt on your tongue could ever do. Truth beyond the wall is exactly like this. Those who have never tasted it can't understand it. Those who have tasted it cannot explain it. This is why words always fail. This is why even the greatest spiritual text falls short. This is why poetry exists as an attempted bridge to cross the gap between language and direct experience. But even the most beautiful poetry can only point to truth. It can't give you the taste. You must do that yourself. Your answers are not in a book on a shelf anywhere. They're not in this video. My goal is to inspire questions, not give you false answers. Now, taking the metaphor further, this is the great tragedy. People read about salt their entire lives. They memorize its chemical composition. They join salt appreciation societies. They argue about which description of salt is the most accurate. And all the while, they've never put a single grain of it on their own tongue. People can talk to talk. They can use all the right spiritual jargon, wear all the right clothes, quote the right texts, have the right crystals on their altar, but they're just decorating a prison cell with prettier bricks. Without direct experience, it's just theory, just words about words about words. I've spent decades poking my own bricks. It's not comfortable, it's not easy, and it never ends. My walls haven't disappeared. We do, I believe, need some structure to function in reality, but my bricks have become translucent. I can make out shapes behind them now, glimpses of what might be real. Also can help me find golden bricks that are buried deep into the wall that I didn't know were there. Meanwhile, everyone else just sees their solid bricks. They don't even know they're in a prison. Worse, they're proud of their walls. Well, my wall is the best wall. My bricks are the most beautiful. My prison is clearly superior to your prison. They decorate their cells, they expand their cells, they invite others into their cells, but they never question the cell itself. The truly dangerous questions aren't the ones society tells you are forbidden. Those are just distractions. The true dangerous questions are the ones that threaten your own identity. Who would I be without this belief? What if everything I've built my life around is arbitrary? What if my deepest spiritual experiences were just my brain creating meaning where there is none? These questions hurt. They're supposed to. Truth isn't meant to be comfortable. It isn't meant to just be flowers and rainbows and love and compassion. Those are all very important things. But that is just other bricks that you haven't bothered to poke yet. Developing a maverick mind, as I describe it, means being willing to stand with translucent walls when everyone else prefers the comfort of solidity. To not question what they think, but who they think they are. To realize that certainty is the enemy of truth. I don't claim to know precisely what's behind the wall. And anyone who does is lying to you or themselves. What I do know is that whatever reality actually is, it's far more stranger, far more complex, and far more beautiful than the simplified model that our solid bricks create. So if you're still watching, one of two things is happening right now. Either you're feeling defensive, constructing arguments against everything that I've said, or something deep inside you is resonating with this despite the potential discomfort. That resonance isn't coming from your mind. It's coming from whatever lies beyond the wall. It's trying to reach you. This isn't about finding better answers. It's about finding the courage to live in the questions. I'm not offering you a new wall. I'm offering you a hammer. Start with one brick. Just one. The most terrifying one. The one that makes you want to stop watching this right now. Ask yourself, what if I'm completely wrong about this? What belief, if questioned, would cause my entire identity to collapse? What ideas am I protecting from examination and why? The people most outraged by this video, and there will be, are the ones who need it the most. The ones feeling defensive right now or defending their prisons. You'll know you found a golden brick when your mind starts generating reasons not to question it. Well, okay, that's different. Well, no, that's going just too far. Some things are just true. Those thoughts aren't protection. They're your prison guards. This path isn't about rejecting all meaning or embracing nihilism. It's not about claiming nothing matters. It's about finding what's real beneath what's merely conditioned and finding the truth from experience. Again, you're not going to find the truth sitting in a book on a shelf. You're not going to find it in a video. You're going to have to actually experience it directly, which is why that is so important to me. Throughout history, the greatest breakthroughs came from those brave enough to question what everyone else accepted. Copernicus questioned that the Earth was the center of the universe. Einstein questioned absolute time. Rosa Parks questioned her assigned place on the bus. In a near future video, I'll be sharing the most powerful tool I've found for dissolving bricks, even the golden ones. A method that has never failed me and has changed me in so many fundamental ways. This path isn't for everyone. Most people prefer comfortable illusions to uncomfortable questions. They'll live and die inside their walls, never knowing what they've missed. But if something in you resonates with this message, if you feel both terrified and liberated by these ideas, you might be a true seeker. In the comments, share the golden bricks that you're finally ready to question. Join our community of brick pokers, people brave enough to choose truth over comfort. And for a recommended reading list that has helped me in this journey, check in the description of the video. I'm going to be making a suggested reading list for this video and others. And if there's books that you just find that are truly that inspire a lot of good questions, not giving you a bunch of answers, let me know what that is, and I will take a look at it and add it if I have time to do so. Remember, reality doesn't care what you believe about it. Truth exists whether you seek it or not. The only question is whether you'll live in reality or in the comforting prison of your walls. So going back to it, what if everything you believe is a lie? That's not the end of anything. That's the beginning of your journey. I want to give a special thanks to all of our new Patreon supporters. We have a ton that are on the free level, and we have more and more that are joining on the paid level. And it means so much to me in such a deep way that so many of you, the comments, the support is truly inspiring, and it gives me motivation to keep doing this. I want to give a special thanks again to all of our paid contributors, and I truly hope that you will consider joining as well. Miss Sparkles, Andrew Ryder, Bob Sandridge, Jason R., Maxine Johnson, please forgive me for this, Tripu Alampudi, Chris Salverturia, Robert, Marty Hoover, Kirsten Dempster, Carolee Merrill, Ulysses Galazar, and EKT. I really look forward to learning more about everybody. Thank you.